Fefi, thank you. That was wonderfully well said and an honor richly deserved. It's time for us to present the Tewaaraton Legends Award now. There were so many great players in the years before the Tewaaraton was established in 2000. So the Legends Award is a way to recognize players who would have won the Tewaaraton had it existed when they played.
And as you can see, we've honored some truly great players with this award. And we have the honor of having a few of them in the audience tonight. Please give Candace Finn Roca, Brad Kotz, Mandy Moore O'Leary, and Larry Quinn a big round of applause. Tonight, we have the pleasure of honoring two more great players from the past. Up first is a prolific scorer from the University of Delaware.
Passion, natural talent, and determination were Karen Emas Borbee's formula for athletic excellence. At Penncrest High School in Pennsylvania, Karen was a three-sport star who won multiple high school championships in basketball, field hockey, and lacrosse. In 1980 at the University of Delaware, Borbee immediately made an impact as a prolific goal scorer with unrivaled stick skills. Karen was also an extremely unselfish player, taking pride in assisting her teammates. Borbee's name is inscribed throughout the record books. Karen became a three-time All-American and still holds 18 different University of Delaware scoring records. For 32 years, Borbee held the NCAA Division I record for most goals in a season, and to this day, holds the records for number of points in a single game and average goals scored per game. Borbee's personal accomplishments translated to team success. She led the Blue Hens to a 69-1 record, 3 straight national titles, and she was named MVP of the 1983 tournament. In 2001, Karen was inducted into the National Lacrosse Hall of Fame. After retiring as a player, Borbee embarked on her next challenge. In 1990, she joined the Swarthmore coaching staff, and over the years, she has led the women's soccer, basketball, field hockey, and lacrosse teams. Today, Karen continues to lead the lacrosse team and has instilled her offensive prowess into 9 All-Americans as the Garnet's head coach. Her consistent performance and exemplary leadership has solidified her place in lacrosse history. Karen Emas Borbee has more than earned her status as a Tewaaraton legend.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Karen's daughter, Jessica Borbee.
Good evening. After watching that video, I think it's safe to say that my mother is one of the most influential players of the game of lacrosse. In my opinion, I think she's the greatest of all time. But that's not because of her records or her awards, but rather because of her respect for the game. Growing up with a mother as a coach, naturally athletics became a big part of my life. Collegiate athletics is a full-time commitment, and while it requires tremendous sacrifices, I wouldn't change my experiences for anything because of what it helped me learn on and off the field. Athletics can be a powerful force in someone's life, and what sets my mother apart from other players and coaches is her remarkable understanding of that force. Something I learned about my mother, having had her as a coach, is that she recognizes the immense responsibility that comes with the role. Athletics can either make or break you, but through positive experiences and encouraging coaching, it has the power to help form confidence and self-identity, build character and motivation, and teach crucial life skills. My mother has dedicated her life to ensuring that the game of lacrosse continues to inspire and encourage greatness in her players, her colleagues, and her children. As a former player, her records show that she was a force to be reckoned with and a natural fighter. As a coach, she believes in her players more than anything and teaches them to never give up on themselves. As a mother, she loves harder than anyone I know. She's helped me learn, too, how to fight, both mentally and physically, how to push myself to limits I thought weren't possible. She is the reason I am the woman I am today, and I know for a fact that there are numerous other women who have either played with her, played for her, or have coached with her who would say the exact same thing. The Legend Award is given to someone who reflects what it means to truly respect the game and push it forward through their remarkable accomplishments. I can think of no better person to receive this award than my mom, Karen Borbee.
Thank you, Jess. My children, Jessica and Jack, are truly the greatest accomplishments in my life. Thank you, Tewaaraton Foundation, for this marvelous award. I am humbled and honored to be here to share this evening with the best student athletes in lacrosse. Before I begin, I want to give a shout out to my college teammates, especially Denise, who are here tonight, and I want everyone here to know that I would not be standing up here without them. Thank you for your support and for your friendship that has spanned decades. It is a strange thing to get an award at 56 for something you did when you were 21. As I was thinking about what to say tonight, I imagined where all of you finalists are sitting, listening to someone who played lacrosse back when there were 3 TV stations and my phone was connected to the kitchen wall. What could I possibly tell you tonight that I would want to hear back then? And I thought of 2 things. When I think back on my success my team and I enjoyed as college athletes, I realize how fleeting it all was. Success did not continue into my young adult life. In fact, I failed a lot. That winning record I enjoyed in college quickly became a losing record. I got married to my college boyfriend and then divorced. I got cut from the 1993 World Cup team. I took a job teaching math, only to realize I hated math. A few years later, I was dealing with infertility and loved ones' struggles with mental illnesses. And as I began my coaching career, my teams lost. And I mean lost a lot. Here's a quick story from my first year as a coach at Swarthmore College. I began as the women's basketball coach, and I inherited an inexperienced team. So inexperienced, in fact, that I spent half the season just teaching them how to do a proper jump stop. We lost 25 straight games, some by more than 70 points. It was failure as I had never experienced in sport before. But what amazed me during that season was the courage and the optimism those athletes showed every day. They showed up even after complete annihilation, ready to try again. How could I not try with them? We somehow made it through the season and even won our last game. You would have thought we won the national championship the way we celebrated that day. There's a verse from my favorite musician, Bruce Springsteen, in a song entitled Local Hero, in which he says, "I can't tell my courage from my desperation." Well, there was a lot of desperation that season, no doubt, for the players on the team and for me as their coach. But what those athletes taught me, and the lesson I pulled into my personal life, is that it's through failure that you come to know real courage. Courage doesn't come from winning. Courage comes from overcoming failure and overcoming the fear of failure. Sports teach you some of life's greatest lessons, and sports develop your courage for taking on every new phase of your life. I may have been successful on the scoreboard back in the 80s, but what helped me the most is what I gained through simply putting myself out there each and every day, even though it didn't always end in success. And now, as a coach in my 34th year, I try to teach much more than stick skills and game strategy. I try not to use the scoreboard as my measuring stick for success. The goal is to win, but failure is inevitable. And if you don't learn and grow from the losses, you're missing out on the best part. That was the first thing I would want to tell my 21-year-old self. And here's the second. life, most likely, will not turn out the way you planned. And that's okay. In fact, it's quite wonderful. It was for me. I have an amazing life with loving people around me and immense joy, and I wouldn't change a thing. Don't miss out on the best part of your life because you are so focused on finding that one path that's meant for you. It doesn't exist. Just like the hundreds of lacrosse games you have played, there are 100 different paths ahead of you, with chutes and ladders scattered throughout. And no matter what you encounter along the way, the lessons you've learned from this tremendous sport will serve you well. I'm truly honored to receive this award. The Tewaaraton represents the competitive human spirit, and that spirit has followed me on the playing and coaching field, in my home, in my neighborhood, with my friends and colleagues, through my entire life. I feel both the obligation to give back and the pride to represent this spirit, and I encourage all of you finalists to do the same. Congratulations to you and the other special recipients, and thank you again to the Tewaaraton Foundation for this great honor.